Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel where today we're going to be doing my week 11 NFL power rankings as some blowouts this week happen, as well as some very interesting matchups and losses happen to shake up this week's power rankings. And so we have the same 6 tiers as always. We got Super Bowl, Division, Wildcard, Meh, Bad, and Booty. And let's go ahead and get started with the Arizona Cardinals, who are going down to my bad tier. Mainly because of their dang running back could not hold on to football, which directly led to 2 Seattle Seahawks touchdowns by their defense in a 44-22 blowout. I mean, Jacoby Brissett still played well. It's just running back could not do anything. Defense definitely couldn't do anything against this honestly kind of elite Seattle team. And yeah, and now Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to miss this week due to get an appendectomy. And yeah, no, the Cardinals are now officially in the bad football tier. And so next we got the Atlanta Falcons. They're going down to meh. I mean, it was a tough game against the Colts. The offense played well. It's just they could not stop the monster known as Jonathan Taylor, who absolutely went off on them. So yeah, I don't know what to make about this Falcons team. They're very middle of the road, not great team. Just kind of going through life, I guess, is what you could say about them. So they're in meh for me. Next up is the Baltimore Ravens. Where are the Ravens, who were able to beat the Vikings in a very impressive win. And all of a sudden, they're 4-5 and getting kind of back into this division race with Pittsburgh. I mean, it's kind of what we knew would happen. Lamar Jackson would come back. His schedule got a little bit easier. And their defense is playing a lot better football than they were the first half of the season. So Ravens are definitely a team that no one wants to face right now. But a team that people do want to face is Buffalo, who I'm knocking down all the way to wild card. How the heck do you lose to the Miami Dolphins by 17 points? What the heck? Where is the team that beat the Chiefs last week? Where were they? They weren't there. Now the Bills are 2 games behind the division to New England. They're not playing good football at all. And so, yeah, I don't think the Bills are going to do much in the playoffs if they keep playing like this. They lost to the Dolphins. They lost to the bloody Dolphins. So, yeah, not good. What else is not good is Carolina dropping down in the med tier. I'm putting them behind Atlanta because they lost to the Saints. They scored 7 points against the Saints. This team that just beat the Green Bay Packers, who we'll get to in a moment, lost to the Saints. Yeah, not a great look. Bryce Young did not play well. Defense did fine. They let up 17 points, but offense couldn't do anything. Rico Dowdle was not good this week. So, yeah, no, Carolina, bad. Very bad. But going up to wildcard tier is Chicago. It did take a come from behind victory, down 2 scores in the fourth quarter against the Jackson Dartless Giants to win. But, hey, you guys are 6-3. You're beating who you're supposed to. And you're playing some solid football right now. Now the question is, can the Bears do this against legit contenders? I don't know. I don't know if they can. We'll find out here soon, but it's a good season so far for Chicago. Still got stuff to work on for sure, but very solid team so far. Who is not a solid team, who was on bye week, is Cincinnati. Yeah, this is a bad football team. I don't imagine they just put Joe Burrow on the designated to return list. Not going to help. If Joe Flacco giving you 40 points a week doesn't lead to wins, then Joe Burrow ain't going to do jack squat either. So, Bengals are in booty, as are the Cleveland Browns, who lost to the Jets because they gave up a punt return touchdown and a kick return touchdown. No, I am not joking. That is why they lost. The Browns are a terrible, terrible team. Don't know what the heck's going on with them. So, yeah, no. Cleveland is in booty here. Next up is the Dallas Cowboys, who were on bye this week. I still think they're a meh football team. Offense is pretty good. Defense is atrocious. I mean, they did just get Quentin Williams because Jerry Jones thinks this team can contend. They're not going to. But this offense is still very, very fun to watch, and they should be a good, fun team to watch down the stretch. Just, I don't expect them to make any noise. Next up is the Denver Broncos, who are staying in division. They're 8-2, but they're probably one of the most fraudulent 8-2 teams we've ever seen. It reminds me a lot of the Steelers team a couple years ago and went 11-0 to start the season. They're just barely squeaking by bad teams, and that's not what you want to see out of a contender. Now, they are getting those wins because their defense has been so strong, but they got to figure out this offense, man. They really, really do. So, Bo Nix has got to get it together. Next up is Detroit, staying in Super Bowl tier. Absolutely blew the pants off of the Washington Commanders 44-22. Not much to say about them. They are a monster. I think the favorite to come out of the NFC right now with how they were playing and how kind of wishy-washy the NFC is at the top. And so, yeah, no, Detroit playing very, very good football. Who's not playing good football is Green Bay. Down the wild card tier, I still haven't had Chicago. I think I'm still a little biased. But my goodness, this defense deserved a lot better than what they got. If you listen to my video yesterday, I tore into this Packers offense and play calling by Matt LaFleur. It's just not good. Like, they had every opportunity to win these past 2 weeks to really, really take a lead in the NFC. Instead, the offense failed. Simple as that. And if they struggle against the Giants, I am fully ready for this Packers team to not be a playoff team. That's how bad the offense has been. They had to figure it out, and they're in wild card tier for me. Who else is in wild card tier is going to be the Houston Texans at 4-5. Actually, I'm going to put them at top of meh because they do have David Mills as their quarterback right now, and it took a monumental collapse by the Jacksonville Jaguars for them to win that game. But it keeps their season alive. Davis Mills was able to lead that impressive comfort behind victory, and the defense was able to clamp down when it matters. So Houston's season is still alive. Not necessarily for the division because Indianapolis is so far running away with that, but they can still make a wild card appearance here. So good on them. Next up is Indianapolis, who I'm moving back on the Super Bowl tier, mainly because Jonathan Taylor is an absolute stud. 244 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, including the game winner in overtime. I really, really like this Colts team. They're very fun. I think Jonathan Taylor should be the MVP. He won't get it because it's a quarterback award, but yeah, no. Very good from the Colts there. They reestablished themselves, I think, as Super Bowl contender. Next up is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, you blow a lead that big against the Texans backups. Not good for you. Not a good look. So Jaguars, I just don't understand this team. Trevor Lawrence is not the guy. He just isn't. So, in meh. Next up is Kansas City, who I'm going to have in wild card tier. 5-4. They were on their bye week this week. I don't know what to think about this Chiefs team. At times they look like world dominating, but they also at times look like a very stale and stagnant team. So very interesting after this bye week to see what Chiefs team we get coming out here and see where they can go. Next up we have is the LA Chargers, who were able to get a pretty big win over the Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend, going to 7-3. I thought they would struggle with how banged up their offensive line is. They proved me wrong. They're at 7-3. Herbert's playing some good football. Kimani Vidal has been a revelation at running back. So yeah, no, Chargers playing some good football. But who's playing even better is their fellow LA team in the LA Rams. Still having an up here in Super Bowl tier. Demolished the San Francisco 49ers there. Stafford is playing like an MVP, guys. Like, I really do think Stafford could win the MVP award here. He threw for 4 touchdowns, had 280 yards passing, playing some great football. Defense for LA is playing good as well. So, no, I think the Rams are a definite threat in the NFC. Next up is the Raiders, who they did have a solid performance on defense against the Broncos. I think that was a bit more of the confidence of Denver than their defense, but again, their offense under Geno Smith could not do anything at all. So the Raiders are still one of the worst teams in football. But moving up from booty to bad, Miami. You beat Buffalo. Heck of a performance there by the Dolphins. Holding the Bills' offense to 13 points is really, really impressive. So Miami, kudos to you. Played a solid game there. Next up is Minnesota, who is in meh. They had a loss there to the Ravens, who are heating up, so I'm not going to punish them too bad for it. But J.J. McCarthy did not look good, especially after that impressive victory over the Lions last week. Vikings coming down here a bit after a disappointing loss. Next up is the New England Patriots, who were able to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another team I've been high on this year. The Patriots are legit, guys. They are a legit football team. Drake Mays playing some really dang good football. They finally are unlocking Trevion Henderson. Offensive line is performing a lot better than we thought, and the defense under Mike Vrabel is playing fantastic. This is a very, very good football team. The reason I don't view them as Super Bowl contenders, I think they're still too young to be a Super Bowl contender, so there's that. But yeah, no, Patriots, I think no one wants to face them right now. And going up here in the tier list is New Orleans, able to get a good victory against the Carolina Panthers. Tyler Shough played pretty solid football there. And so, yeah, Saints, solid win there. Next up is the New York Giants. And I mean, Jackson Dart is proving something he is a good quarterback. They did just fire head coach Mike Dable there, and they're probably going to have to start Jameis Winston against the Packers, which I am scared about because Jameis Winston either going to be a god or he's going to throw 5 interceptions. There's no in between. But the Giants, their defense is not good, which is surprising considering that was supposed to be their strength coming into the year. But they got a man in Jackson Dart, though, so very, very good there. Next up is the Jets. Here, I'm just going to move them here because it was a good victory against the Browns. Offense did just enough to get by. Really was their special teams that propelled them to a win. So good job there, New York. You got your second win of the year. Congratulations. Next up is Philly. Super Bowl contender. Offense looked rough against the Packers defense, but the Eagles did just enough to win, scrape by with a win, and the Eagles defense was incredible to watch. Part of it was the Packers' incompetency, but the Eagles' defense really made Packers' life really, really hard to do against the Eagles' front especially. So Philadelphia, yeah, they're a very good team having a Super Bowl tier. Next up is Pittsburgh. Yeah, I don't trust the Pittsburgh Steelers. Offense couldn't do anything against the LA Chargers. Defense struggled against what is basically an entire backup offensive line for LA. Like, how do you not get that much pressure on Justin Herbert when you're facing all backups? TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Nick Herbig. Like, come on, guys. You can do better than that. So Pittsburgh and wild card, actually won't put them behind Green Bay and Chicago, honestly, behind Kansas City. So yeah, no faith in the Steelers. Who I do have faith in is the Seattle Seahawks. Wow, this team is on another level this year. Their defense is playing absolutely incredible. Sam Darnold is proving that last year wasn't a fluke by playing even freaking better. And this is just a well-run organization right now, and they're playing some good football here. So, yeah, up there in Super Bowl tier. Next up is the San Francisco 49ers, currently at 6-4. Still in the midst of a wild card hunt there, playing some good, solid football. I do think injuries are going to catch up to them soon, but they keep proving that they are a solid football team there. So, yeah, San Francisco there. Next up is Tampa Bay division, 6-3. They did just lose to the Patriots, but there was a close game against two really good teams. Can't really fault Tampa Bay there. So they're still playing some solid football. I still believe in Baker Mayfield, so that is where they're at. Next up is Tennessee. They're bad. Worst team in football. Even on their bye week, it felt like they got a loss. So, yeah, Tennessee is there. And next up is Washington. Going to put them in the bad tier, as I still think they got the structure to be solid, but, yeah, it's not looking good without Jaden Daniels. And so that is my tier list this week. In Super Bowl II, we got the Lions, Seahawks, Rams, Eagles, Colts. Division, I got the Patriots, Broncos, Chargers, Buccaneers. Wildcard is Bills, Packers, Bears, 49ers, Chiefs, Steelers, and Ravens. Met is Texans, Jaguars, Falcons, Cowboys, Panthers, Vikings. Bad is Dolphins, Cardinals, Commanders. And booty is the Bengals, Jets, Saints, Giants, Browns, Raiders, Titans. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.